audio. Alright, so welcome back to Beta Weekend 2 for Neverwinter. This is probably going to be my final video for this weekend. Played a pretty good chunk of it, and I think I have enough under my belt to give a good kind of summary of this weekend. So, you may or may not be able to see on the stream, but I'm only level 23. I did not make it to level 30 like I did the last beta weekend. I don't believe this is necessarily because they've slowed down the leveling, because it doesn't appear that they have. Aside from the starter area, which is lengthened and was better, as you saw in the first video, everything past that is essentially identical to the previous beta weekend. One thing that I did notice is that the quests were started steadily out-leveling me. So if I bring up my journal here, the quest that I have right now is level 26. My character is level 23. I'm almost level 24, but about half to 3/4 of that level was doing a foundry mission. So that is not content that Cryptic has provided. So either I'm going through these quests a little more optimally, or they've tweaked the XP a little bit, and it's now a little on the low side, as I've very slowly started falling behind. Now, I'm not really having any trouble killing things. Things still go down pretty well. Anything other than minions might take a little time. The biggest problem right now is that I have a lot of gear that I can't equip, because the gear that is dropping is kind of appropriate for the quests. So I've got level 24 to level 26 gear, but I can't equip that yet. So it's kind of clogging up my bag, because I don't want to get rid of it, because if I get rid of it, it's not going to drop again unless I go back to those areas. So I'm trying to kind of hold on to my upgrades until I can actually wear them. So that's something that they will probably need to address, either by preferably adding more content and slowing the leveling down, or by tweaking the leveling speed till it's a little closer to what it was in Beta Weekend 1, which felt right to me. So, anyway, what else have I uncovered? Well, there is PvP in the game, however it is currently unavailable. Most of the quests that I've run across have been fully voiced, as opposed to the first beta weekend where kind of some of the main quests were voiced, but none of the side quests were. So I'm reasonably certain that they're ending up with essentially fully voiced quests for everything that Cryptic produces, which is then going to be a little bit jarring for Foundry missions, because they obviously are not going to have voice acting. The invocation stuff, which I brought up during the first weekend, where you go to a campfire like the one over here, and you invoke the favor of your gods. That appears to have been smoothed out a little bit from Beta Weekend 1. I've been getting some more Astral Diamonds from that. Still not a huge amount. If you go look at my... Here, I've got 2,000 Astral Diamonds, and that's playing over the course of the weekend. A large chunk of that actually came from doing a scenario, which I'll talk about later. They do have some sort of bug right now with the Celestial Coins. You appear to lose all your Celestial Coins when you zone out of an instance, which is not good, because those are used to buy currency. There's also a little bit of confusion on the cooldown. The tooltip reads that you will lose your Celestial Coins if you don't invoke every 24 hours, which is an improvement from the 6-hour timer on previous beta weekend. However, the tooltip's timer is on a 6-hour cooldown. Now, I did experiment over the weekend, and it appears that whatever the server-side timer is actually 24 hours, and the tooltip is wrong, so that's good. But they are going to want to look at that and get that fixed before launch. So, I also have noticed that identification scrolls are no longer purchasable, which is something that I hope they change again. Either that or I'm not finding the vendors. I was able to buy them from vendors in beta weekend 1, but it's come up with now, or the problem is now is that I've got one identification scroll and I've got, you know, 4 things in my inventory that are unidentified. One of which is not for my class, but the thing about identification is that it also increases the value of the item. So if I sell an unidentified item to a vendor, it's only going to give me 1 copper. However, if I identify the item, it's going to then give me a lot more copper based on what it actually is. So I would prefer that the identification scrolls were purchasable so that I can continue to identify stuff to sell it to vendors so that, you know, I can keep my cash up. Not that cash flow is necessarily a problem. As you can see, I already got 2 gold, and this is after buying a 2 gold horse, which you have access to at level 20.
This desecration of the dead.
So the other thing that I want to kind of bring up before we go off to show off some of the higher level wizard stuff is they have turned on the Zen store, and this is the real money store. Now, like Cryptic's other games, they have a currency which is tradable between the Zen, which is the real money currency, and in-game. So that's what the Astral Diamonds are. And you know, I got 2,000 of them over the weekend. Some of those come from the skirmishes that I did, some from dungeon chests, and some from invocation. Now, diamonds, the Astral Diamonds themselves are also used for things like paying for respecs or accelerating companion training. You'll notice I don't have my companion out. That's because he's off on training, which is taking 20 minutes, which is a little ridiculous when he's only like level 15 or so. But, you know, they want you to spend those things. So you basically trade back and forth the Astral Diamonds to Zen with the, there's a currency thing, and I don't remember where it is at the moment. Anyway, so you can, if you do earn Astral Diamonds, you can trade it with other players for Zen, which you can then use in the store. So essentially everything in the store could be obtained via gameplay if you're willing to grind out the Astral Diamonds. Conversely, you can, if you want Astral Diamonds, which you use to buy in-game armor and, you know, some power boosts as well as respecking stuff, you could pay Zen and trade it with players for the diamonds. So you have a way of essentially purchasing in-game currency with real money. Up to you whether you like the practice or not. I think this is a reasonably fair practice that also demotivates gold selling. But of course you're going to have to decide that for yourself. Now, what does the Zen market have? Keep in mind, this is beta. This is the second beta weekend. None of these prices should ever be considered final, but it should give you a decent idea as to what they're selling and roughly how much it's going to go for. So to give you a perspective, I looked up the prices for Zen on the store, and it looks like $1 is 100 Zen, which is pretty nice because it makes it very easy to figure out how many dollars something is at a glance, as opposed to certain other currencies that might do 80 coins for $1. Or, you know, they like to use prime numbers because then you always have some left over, so you're always motivated to spend. So far what I've seen here is that things are, you know, you got the $100 to $1 thing, so it looks really, it's really easy to figure out, and they don't do weird prices on their items. So it's pretty easy for you to end up with 0 Zen in your wallet again, which is good. So what do we got? Well, we have items, and these range from kind of a helper pack, which this contains just a group of things that you could otherwise get. They have potions. These are mostly, let's see, Greater Stone of Health here for 1,500 cents, so that's $15. That, let's see, 200 charges, and will heal the wielder when used. It doesn't work in PvP, so those of you worried about real money tainting PvP, you don't have to worry about that. Nothing you can buy in this store can be used in PvP. However, you could potentially use the money to buy diamonds, which would then could be used to buy actual armor and weapons in the game. And you have, mass cure serious wounds, or scrolls of cure serious wounds. These are essentially their version of resurrect scrolls. You have boosts, so you have your glory boost, which is glory is your currency for PvP, which essentially allows you to buy a bonus pool of currency earned at a higher rate than you otherwise normally have. So it's kind of like buying rested XP. You have lockbox keys, so I don't particularly like lockboxes, the idea of lockboxes. I haven't actually gotten any lockboxes in the game, so I can't tell you what they contain. But keys here look like they are $1.25 for a single key, or $11.25 for a pack of 10. So you save a little bit getting the pack. Then you have these awards, and these essentially allow you to fuse items without any chance of failure. So if you see, I have these rune stones here and these glyphs. If I have 4 of them, I can attempt to fuse them together. And so far, fusing from a level 1 glyph to a level 2 glyph has a 90% chance of success. So not too bad. If you use a ward, it guarantees success. So this might be a way to kind of preserve your runes if you're worried about that. You can buy bags. So this is a 24 slot bag for $10. This is a 12 slot bag for $6. These you buy one and you can trade them, so people can buy these, put them up on the auction house for gold, silver, copper, whatever. So that could be a way to turn Zen into the game currency, the non-diamond game currency, and for people to buy these without actually having to spend real money. Now, I did get one adventurer's knapsack from a quest, so these so far have not been required. Also, slots, companion slots here. An active slot is $3.50, an idle slot is $1. I should say that's 4 idle slots, so those aren't expensive. That's a character unlock. You have dies. These are single-use dies, so you get a pack of 4 is $6.50. There's an actual item here, Noble Fighter, for $12. You can buy various companions. I'm saying lots. Apologies for that. These are there. I did get the one companion in game for free. These are additional ones you can purchase. I don't see anything about these companions that necessarily makes them any more powerful than the ones you can buy in game, so I'm not too worried yet. Yes, you can buy a honey badger for $35. He's angry and mostly obedient.
I'm an honest fighter.
Mounts are also purchasable. All the way from $40 for an armored warg, which is apparently account bound. So that's one for every character on your account. All the way down to 500 coins or $5 for a horse, which is also account bound. These profession assets pack and profession booster packs, I can't really tell you about those because professions are not unlocked currently in the beta. And then you have the typical stuff like additional character slots, bank slots, or a rename token. So in general, my impressions of the market are that some of the things seem a little expensive at the moment, or at least more than I'd be personally willing to pay for them. But there's nothing in here that I find particularly egregious. It's all cosmetic stuff, nothing that's actually going to give you a massive bonus or anything like that in the game. So, with that all said, I think it's time that we should do or progress our quest a little bit and kind of go over what we have here as a wizard at level 23. So, go to my powers. So what do we got? Well, these are passives, these class features that we've unlocked. The only other at-will we've got is Chilling Cloud, which is similar to Magic Missile, except that instead of building stacks of Arcane Mastery, they build stacks of Chill on the target. So you kind of have your choice of whether you want to kind of go arcane or frost. For encounter powers, we've got repel, which pushes people away from you. You have Ray of Enfeeblement, which is a debuff, makes them more vulnerable to attack. We have Icy Terrain, which is an AoE attack which you put on the ground under you that slows people that are on it, and if they stay in it, they get frozen. And you get Steal Time, which damages, slows, and stuns targets that it hits, but it has a cast time. The dailies we've got, you saw Ice Storm. We have Oppressive Force, which is an AoE daze. And then you have Ice Knife, which is a single target ice attack, which knocks them prone. So, we've got pretty much all of this slotted. Now, unlike the Cleric and the Rogue, which had toggleable special abilities, the Wizard's a little different in that our ability that would normally be on the tab actually allows us to slot any encounter power we have into it. So essentially, Wizards have access to 4 encounter powers, as opposed to other classes which only have 3. And this encounter power that you slot here is now considered to be in the Spell Mastery version. So that's why when you mouse over your encounter powers, you see a secondary tooltip there that says Spell Mastery does this. So I've basically got my Ice Shard attack, which is Chill Strike, slotted right there. And because I've got that slotted there, it now becomes an AoE attack, which I've found to be pretty useful. You've noticed that I've still got 83 potions, so even though I'm definitely using them a lot more often than I was in my Cleric, I'm in no real danger of them running out. That's probably more than enough talking you want to hear from me right now, so we're going to go off and just kind of show off the spell effects for a little bit.
Too many friends to the undead.
And this will be interesting because I won't have Bob, my tanking companion. Now when does Bob come back? Oh, he's actually going to be back in a minute, so that's good. Just to give you an impression, don't tell me the price of refreshing training. It's not terribly cheap. Let's see, full respec. Oh, there's a retrain token, so they've changed that. So, used to be you just pay diamonds, now it says pay a token, so... Wonder which one they're going to end up going with at the end. Feat respec. Cost me 17,000 diamonds, and again I only have 2,000, so that might give you a bit of an idea. I've spent 14 points. The cost does go up the more points you spend. Well, my companion's gonna be back, then let's see if I can delay this a little. Who knows? I'm dead. Time, AoE, Ice Shard, which is pretty good. These guys are actually 3 levels above me. So you can see I'm not having too much trouble taking them out. I do have to potion, but nothing bad. Now would be a good time to check the potion. I say as I'm starting to get my ass beat. Another one. These potions are restoring 2,000 health at a time. Okay, I take it back. This is proving to be a little difficult because these guys are really hurting. I'm having trouble getting away from them. effect. And there's 24. So that'll help a little bit, because now there'll only be 2 levels above it. And I'll be able to equip some of this stuff I've been holding on to. Hat. Gloves. New boots. And a new orb. Some of these do have enchantment slots, so I'll kind of show you that real quick. Go here, enchant it. So this has a yellow empty enchantment slot shown here. So I'll click the drop down. This shows me all the stuff that I could possibly slot in there. Because it's yellow, we will actually get the yellow effect from any of these glyphs. So you'll notice this one, its yellow effect is 3% glory gain. If it was a red slot, it would be 10% recovery, and if it was a kind of a teal slot, it would be 10% deflection. Since glory isn't particularly useful right now, I'm going to pick something else. So let's see, let's go with a lot of glory stuff, probably because I haven't been using it. I'll take the 3% gold. And it's telling me here that, hey, you've now if you slot this, it'll cost you diamonds to pull the sigil back out again. So I don't care, because I'm going to be tossing it when I'm done with it anyway. Now we have our orb, which we can enchant, and this has a red slot, so we're going to go down these and say this is armor penetration, power, recovery, armor penetration, recovery. Slot of recovery, why not? Recovery decreases the cooldown time of your encounter powers and increases the amount of action points you gain. So that's kind of a really quick overview on enchanting. And what did we get? We got a better version of Chill Strike, and we get a feat point, which I'll put here. Oh, am I good at invoke? So let's do that. And we got a minor damage bonus, 250 rough astral diamonds, which we have to refine, and 1500 XP. So the refining process is pretty simple. You just go here and you hit refine astral diamonds. That's simply to limit the amount of diamonds that actually get put into the economy, so people that are grinding them in the world still can only refine a certain amount. This is, at least for the beta, they allow you to refine 24,000 diamonds a day, so it's not in any way restrictive. I have nowhere near getting that much, as you can probably see. I'll try to find a big guy to use my my daily on, so you can see that, because it's more of a single target thing. This guy looks useful. Debuff, daily ice, and big deck, which pretty much wipes it out. And so I can show it off. I'm going to swap out my ice for oppressive force. Unfortunately, they still do not have crafting in the game, so I can't show any of that. So I've got a bunch of crafting materials and no real way to show you what's going on. Buff. A little AoE snow blizzard thingy on him. Constantly damages when you're near him. Headshot. Ray of Frost, which slows people. When it gets to 7, freezes in place. Now with the wizard, that's useful because the more stacks of chill you have on your target, the more damage that blizzard does, and the blizzard will actually infuse your stacks and it'll fall off. But yeah, let's see if we can try some different abilities to kind of show them off. I'll swap that out with Repel, and I will put in what I want. Icy terrain. And I'll swap out Chilling Cloud for my magic missile. Not necessarily an optimal solution, but mostly here to just show them off. Skier appears to be human in origin. You see a backpack, journal, and broken symbol of Kellenvor. The final entry in the journal reads, "The Red Wizard has used a dark ritual to prevent us from calling upon Kellenvor's might. I overheard him tell his Null servants that we were to be taken to another portion of Never Death near the Soldier's Memorial. The wizard took Doom Guide Severin into the nearby crypt. I could hear his screams from here. May Kellenvor grant us strength. Perhaps there is yet time to save Severin. Search for him in the nearby crypt." So off we go. And let's see. We'll drop our ice patch on the ground. So you notice, you'll watch those archers there, their legs start freezing up. Should go solid. There they go. That's what happens if you don't get out of the patch. Again, I've not seen the control abilities of the wizard actually hold people for very long. So, it's obviously some sort of deliberate design choice, but I'm not sure necessarily. If I'm going to be a wizard based on control, then I'd like to actually be able to decently control people, rather than just kind of incapacitate them for half a second. But again, beta is beta. Things can change. Red Wizard of Thay. Oh no. Let's take the big guy out first. Buddies. Dash. And push him all the way back. So that ability is actually really good if you've got somebody feeding on you. If you actually slot that into the powered up spell slot. Alright. There's the days with the power. That's a pretty cool effect. I personally don't like it quite as much as the ice one, but that's fine. I'm sure there are cases where the days is more useful than back. I should probably be focusing on the wizard, who I believe is should be reasonably obvious at this point that this game does not have MP for uses, so you're free to spam your abilities. The only limit really is and that goes for the potions too. While you have a lot of potions, you're still going to be limited by cooldown. So you can't just spam. However, at the moment, they aren't killing me as fast so that I can't use potions. And I just picked up, another 4 potions from that fight. And we get a level 3 glyph from that. And we do have a horse, which makes travel a little bit easier. I did not have any trouble paying for this when I got access to it, so I wouldn't worry about not having any cash. As long as you're smart with your money and not buying a ton of stuff, you'll be fine.
This desecration of the dead is hateful to Kellenvor.
So pick up the
We must be
quests here. Kind of skipping over them because I don't intend to do them in the stream. Because what I want to do is, let's actually empty our bags a little bit, but I want to show off one of the skirmishes if we can. So let's kind of get rid of a lot of this stuff. So let's take a look. This is actually pretty convenient because it kind of shows you everything you could be doing at this point. So this will point you at quests. It can point you at dungeons, like a level 25 dungeon we could go queue for, and then of course skirmishes. It'll also point you at Foundry and any upcoming events. They have a calendar here which will also show various upcoming events. Obviously, since they're still in beta, there's not really anything here. And any potential queues that you may want to join. So let's do this skirmish storming the keep. And it's real easy. Just click when you want, hit join. You can join as many as you want. And this shouldn't be too long because, or at least in most cases, I've seen a lot of these fill pretty quickly. So I'll actually leave us in the queue. Let's actually go progress the quest a little bit, and I'll just leave us in the queue, and hopefully that will pop quickly. The 2 skirmishes I've done so far have basically been defend missions. They don't take very long at all, so they're nice to do if you only have 15-20 minutes to play, and you're guaranteed to get something at least semi-useful at the end. If not an actual item, then some astral diamonds or some other currency. I really should be using my horse, so it's faster.
I'm an honest fighter. Smart fighter quits while he's ahead.
Why are we riding past
Smart fighter
these?
quits while he's ahead. I'm an honest fighter.
Right, raise the banner of Celeborn. And zombies are hurt. Get in melee range anyway. Just watch that for my little AoE. The choices you get for your first companion are the man-at-arms, which is the defender here, a cleric if you want a healer, and if you happen to be a tank or healer yourself, you want something to do a little bit of extra damage. The cleric that I showed off last week had the illusion. If you want to go see that. What's this? Alright, let's head back a little bit. Oops. Because we've got more of these fields we can consecrate.
A smart fighter quits while he's... A smart fighter quits while he's...
There's our skirmish popped. So let's accept the party. And now once everybody's accepted, we will go right into it.
Blackdagger and his cutthroats must not be allowed. Finally, somebody. Was there something else?
You come.
Our enemies shall feel divine wrath.
Up the hill, storm the keep, and slay Valor's Black Dagger.
Alright there, I just wanted to make sure voice chat was muted. Didn't want commentary going over the voice stuff. So, looks like I can tell what classes we have. So, aside from myself being the wizard, we have 2 guardian fighters. Cleric. Switch out my powers. Just because I want something slightly different. As you can see, you can swap out powers at any time. It may not like you doing it in combat. I believe I did successfully in combat. There's apparently an event going on in this zone back in the game. You can see over here, Spy Catcher. Those pop up in some zones on occasion. They're essentially contests. They have an objective that you want to accomplish. And depending on how well you do, you get ranked against the other players and you get rewards from them. Obviously, it's completely optional. Just ran right across the traps. Not entirely sure where we're supposed to be going now.
I told you to be careful with the dragonfire tongue. It looks like I get to kill you myself.
That shield must be the one. Then the spiky eye kind of rogues. Someday I'll get enough, I'm getting all the loot as opposed to having it being rolled on. So I wonder if that's unique, because usually maybe that's just a skirmish thing, and just in dungeons is where they do the rolls. Thing you may notice about the official Cryptic stuff as opposed to the Foundry mission we did during the last beta weekend. Cryptic always leaves you areas to walk through, so you can walk around the tracks and know they're there, or just randomly miss them. Whereas in that particular mission we did last beta weekend, they basically covered the entire path with traps, so you couldn't go through that, which is not really the right way to do it. So you may be wondering, how do I know to hit greed versus need on an item? Well, technically, I'm being nice and just greeding or only needing the stuff that I can equip, but you can tell that because the item icon will be red if you cannot ever equip it. In other words, if it's not for your class. The item icon will be gray if you could equip it, but you don't have the requirements. So, if you're going to be nice and need on items that you could use, keep an eye out for the gray icons. Need on those. Throw and go greed on You could also use the Alt key to put the cursor back up on the screen and mouse over it to get a tooltip, but that means that you actually have to stop combat. So color will figure out whether that would actually stop combat. Not entirely sure why I'm going first. And here's the boss of this particular skirmish. It's possible, everybody's getting their own loot. Which would be quite nice. The glow on the ground is from our cleric. One of their dailies is to consecrate the ground, which improves all the players, or all the friendlies in the area, and debuffs everybody, every enemy in the area. So if you see that in the ground, get in it, you're a cleric. Single target base attack there because he doesn't have any guys around him, so no reason to use the AoE one. Get some of these people up. Just get near them, hit F, they'll be back in the fight. So if you see people down, do them a favor and bring them back up again. Also, try not to get hit by the boss while you do it. This guy is taking his sweet time to die. Seems like he's potioning. I don't think I necessarily have a way to stop that. Resisting most of my control stuff, so something is healing him. Health go up, so maybe it's just that he's got a lot of health. Not doing him a lot of damage. So get my companion back up. See, he's resisting the chill effects. Three things that may like remove buffs that he has. Not seeing any. Guys on me. Now I'm out of stamina. Not good. Being annoying. Get Off me. Yeah, I'm not sure about this guy. He definitely needs to have his health taken down because at this point it's just kind of die already. None of us are being particularly challenged by the fight. I'm not having any trouble dodging out of the way. I get hit once or twice because I'm an idiot. For the most part, we're just wearing down his massive hit point pool. He's not being particularly dangerous to anybody but our companions. The most annoying thing at the moment is the fact that he won't leave me alone. And I crowd control him because he's resisting everything I'm tossing at him. It's unclear whether that's because of his level or just the fact that he's a boss, because it definitely seems that bosses in general are just more resistant to that kind of thing. It's his debuff, unstoppable. It says time remaining 1, but I'm not seeing that actually go away, so I wonder if he's actually bugged. He just has some massive damage buff that is supposed to go away, but or if there's something in this actual that we're supposed to be doing and we just haven't done. I'm certainly not seeing any of those before. Teleporting to my behind me, not leaving me alone. If you're watching Cryptic, the fact that I can use my daily like 3 times, still half dead, means the fight's taking too long. And you need to either make it clear as to what we're doing wrong, or you need to fix this guy that's bugged, or simply just reduce his health pool. Not the illusions that Cryptic is watching these videos. Not providing much commentary because, well, A, I'm just kind of dodging around to avoid getting hit while still trying to be able to put damage on the guy. B, it's not terribly interesting. We're going to have enough action points here in another minute or so to drop another daily, which will give another tiny silver damage to you. See, it did what, a pixel's worth of damage? Which is kind of ridiculous for something that you do every couple of minutes. And now he's got a buddy, which we should probably take out. He will make the fight more difficult. Buddy here is going down pretty easily, or at least not taking it out. There he goes. Ah, he's too slow on that one. We've all had plenty of time to pop our tails several times during this fight. Of course, with him teleporting and popping around like this, our melee guys are probably having a hell of a time putting any damage on him. Especially the rogues who are going to have to rely on being in stealth or potentially being behind him to do a lot of their damage. The cleric and I can just retarget, so we're probably getting most of the damage. So this particular fight so far has been pretty heavily favored towards ranged. Especially since the game kind of drags your cursor along and you teleports around. So when you get the player down, let's bring him back up. Okay, he is not moving. We had one disconnect, apparently, which is not helping matters. He is outright dead. Unfortunately, one of our cleric companions is still happy. Bring my guy back up. Or if he's just going to follow. Yep, he's just going to follow one head. It's not really much worse than anybody. Sorry about that. Knocked my mouse around. Not good for the fight, and stream either, it got stuck. go. Still what? That's 1200 damage. Not really worth talking about. Got lucky there. Out of stamina. Alright, he's almost down. Start doing damage. There we go. Yeah, look at that. 337,000 damage. That's a little ridiculous, because most of that's on the boss. So yeah, that needs to be fixed. But that's also kind of a nice thing they do, showing off, you know, very basic statistical information there. So I did pretty well in that fight. And you know, he drops loot, and you get a chest here with stuff, and I got and well, that's a skirmish. So we will take our convenient teleporter out of here, and it will leave us right back to where we were. Or not. This is the zone where it took place, so maybe it did that. That's kind of odd, so we'll pop out of the party there. What do we got? We got this new blight armor, which is recommended because it looks like it has lifesteal. Well, what the heck, we can equip it at the very least, kind of take a look at what it does. This is another thing, the ring right now only compares with one of your rings, not both. So it's 3 power. Wait, what? Why would I even use this? Doesn't make any sense. It's only got 3 power on it. I would never equip that. It also has 3 power. Those are all out of level range. So what do we got? Oh, those are actually some pretty nice looking robes there. I'm trying to zoom in, but I can't. So.
Watch your back, friend.
Anyway, that's a skirmish. This has been beta weekend 2 of Neverwinter. The 3rd beta weekend is, I believe, in 2 weeks. It will be over the weekend of PAX East. If you are actually attending PAX East, you'll be able to play it for yourself.
Watch your back, friend.
Otherwise, that is the last beta weekend that they have announced at this point. They may do open beta or other things later. The release date for the game is still standing at early 2013 with no actual hard date.
Keep your eyes open.
Thank you all for watching over this weekend. I look forward to doing some more in 2 weeks to see how they've improved it. And we'll see you
Watch
all
your back,
next
friend.
time.